This weekend, as we celebrate Independence Day, we show our gratitude to those who put their lives on the line each day to uphold the law, protect our property, and be first to respond to emergencies. Brave heroes who provide us with security and comfort. And while our main focus is on baseball tonight, we offer our sincere gratitude for their invaluable service.
And I want to say thank you to the people who protect us each and every day and give us the opportunity to enjoy America's pastime.
Our salute to heroes continues tonight as the Rangers host the Marlins, right now on Fox Sports Southwest. Today, Josh Hamilton was voted in by the fans to start in his 4th consecutive All-Star game. He'll be joined on Ron Washington's AL squad by third baseman Adrian Beltre, designated hitter and now 7-time All-Star Michael Young, and first-time All-Star C.J. Wilson, who is tonight's starting pitcher. A wonderful way to celebrate Independence Day weekend in Arlington as the Rangers host the Florida Marlins in the rubber game of this 3-game series on Fox Sports Southwest. Now let's join Chuck Morgan for the introduction of tonight's holiday weekend edition of our national anthem.
We invite you to let your voices be heard and join in singing with Dallas Blend as they honor America with the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, land of the free, and the home of the
Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By Jack in the Box. Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats at no blackout dates. And as the Rangers take the field, let's welcome Emily Jones.
Well, guys, as you probably heard by now, 4 Texas Rangers headed to the All-Star game along with Ron Washington and the entire Rangers coaching staff. 3 of those guys got voted in by the fans and the players, those, of course, being Josh Hamilton, Adrian Beltre, and Michael Young. So Wash had to make just one decision when it came to one of his players, and that was C.J. Wilson, and he said the decision was an easy one.
C.J. is very deserving, and you know, there wasn't a whole lot of choices on left-handed relievers, and CJ has the experience of doing that, so and he's deserving, as far as I'm concerned, to be on the All-Star team, so I chose him.
Ron Washington with tonight's Geico quote of the game. C.J. Wilson, as per usual, did not speak before the game. He doesn't talk, as do most pitchers don't talk before the game, before their start, rather. So we'll be anxious to hear what he has to say about making his first ever All-Star appearance after the game, and hopefully he'll play like an All-Star here tonight, guys.
Yeah, Emily, we'll see how it stacks up with his triple Tuesday night in Houston, which he said at the time was the highlight of his career. And Tom, a very all-star worthy first half for Wilson.
Absolutely. I think he's proven everything you need to prove to be a top of the rotation starter. He's been durable with 117 and 2/3 innings. He's had quality pitching with only 107 hits. He's 9th in the league with 100 strikeouts. He hasn't had many walks. In June, he didn't give up a home run in over 36 innings. He's pitched very well in this ballpark, and he's averaged 111 pitches per start. He's done everything in every category that you want to excel at to be a top of the rotation starter. He certainly should go to the All-Star game.
The Marlins lineup tonight, as brought to you by Southwest Airlines, Bonifacio, Infante, Sanchez, Ramirez, Morrison, and Stanton as usual. Wes Helms another start at third. Brett Hayes is the catcher. Ryan Peterson just called up for a second stint with the Marlins yesterday. Will again bat ninth, and he's in center field, and we're set to go with Emilio Bonifacio. And in there for strike one. Lance Barrett of Crowley getting his 4th Major League home plate assignment tonight. Angel Hernandez is at first, Angel Campos at second, Joe West at third. CJ going with that bare hand attempt, and it deflects right to Ian Kinsler. 1-4-3.
You know, I don't remember CJ doing that last year that much, this year that much. It's kind of a recent thing. His last start in Houston, he had one off the foot, he had one off the hand. First batter of the game goes off his hand, and all of a sudden it's becoming a problem.
Well, what happened in Houston was followed by some numbness in his hand. He couldn't throw a sinker for a while. He was immediately smiling. I think he was trying to signal to the dugout that he's okay, but they're not going to just take his word for it. Jamie Reed, Mike Maddox, Ron Washington out to see for themselves.
Yeah, it's an instinctive thing for a lot of pitchers. I just don't remember CJ having the problem instinctively going after balls like that with his bare hand until recently.
Well, doesn't he need to tamp down that instinct? I mean, this is the first batter of the game.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's same thing with Josh, and you'd like to see him maybe not dive quite as much. And we've seen Kevin Millwood used to do it. Kevin Brown did it a lot. It's not a smart thing to do, but it may not be a question of whether you want to be smart or whether you want to be dumb. Your instincts take over, and it's a reaction, and it's almost like you don't have a choice. If you had time to think about it, it would not be a smart thing to do, especially on that ball. Kinsler's going to make the play on that ball anyway. The only thing that Ian could do is mess the play up by having the ball go. The only thing CJ could do is mess it up, go off his hand, dribble away with Bonifacio running, and he beats it out. If he just lets the ball go, Ian's going to make that play easily anyway.
Well, hopefully that last word Wash had for him was no more of that stuff.
Don't do it again. I agree.
So 2 pitches to get the first out. Now here's Omar Infante. 2 for 4 with a sacrifice fly, scored a run last night. The Marlins 9-5 victory. So this is the rubber game of this 3-game series. The Florida team under 80-year-old Jack McKeon starting to show some signs of life. As Wilson starts Infante with strike 1. McKeon at age 80, replacing Edwin Rodriguez, who resigned in the face of a horrific month of June, which the Marlins went 5-23. Adrian Beltre gobbles that one up for out number 2. Adrian named today to his 2nd consecutive American League All-Star team. 4 pitches, 4 strikes, 2 outs for C.J. Wilson. Here's Gabby Sanchez. Gabby is the Marlins All-Star representative this year, named by National League manager Bruce Bochy. All-Star worthy numbers there. Had a particularly strong month of May. He hit .345 with 6 of his homers, 25 of his runs batted in, about half his year's production. Finger appears fine. 5 pitches, still all strikes until that one. And 1-1 to the Marlins first baseman. Marlins come in having won 3 of their last 4, their best stretch since they swept 3 at San Francisco in late May. This has Cruz on the run into the corner. He can't get it. It's off the wall. Sanchez will put on the brakes with a 2-out double. A long run for Cruz to get there, but he did appear to get himself in position to make that catch. Just couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, not an exceptionally hard hit ball by Sanchez. The ball is just slicing away from Nelly, and he just never quite got to it. Reached out, might have clicked off the top of his fingers.
Wasn't going to require a dive or a slide or anything like that. Now last night's hero Hanley Ramirez has another chance to get Florida on the board in the first, although not in the manner in which he achieved that last night. Last night he became the first Marlin ever to hit a first-inning grand slam from the cleanup spot, following a walk and 2 singles issued by Derek Holland, who would only face 8 batters. 1-1 to Ramirez. He had his 5th career grand slam. Followed that with a leadoff home run in the 7th inning for his 11th multi-home run game.
You got Ramirez, who looks like he's starting to get hot, a right-hand hitter batting 4th, and Morrison, a young left-hand hitter batting 5th. First base is open, and so if you're CJ, I'm sure you're going to pitch carefully right here to Ramirez.
Jack McKeon installing him at the cleanup spot, and suddenly the worst year of his career, he has sprung to life, hitting .385 in this role. Three balls and a strike. It would really be hard to see Wilson coming with anything remotely hittable here. Logan Morrison on deck, although he had a big night last night, a double and a homer. Marlins, with their win last night, improved to 500 on the road. You hardly ever see that from a last place team. They're 20-20. Well, backdoor breaking ball. That's 3-2.
You just try to make a perfect pitch and say to yourself, if I miss with this pitch, I'm going to miss outside. I'm not going to miss toward the middle of the plate. If I miss inside, I'm going to miss toward the batter, not toward the middle of the plate. Sure, he wasn't looking for a slow curveball there. 3 balls and 1 strike. 92-mile-an-hour fastball right in on the hands wouldn't be a bad pitch right here. Good try. That was it.
Came really close before walking Ramirez.
He had him set up for that pitch with a slow curveball. It is a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and he is trying to hit the inside corner or maybe get Ramirez to swing at it, but it was too far inside.
So 2 on, 2 out for Morrison. The fielder drafted in the 22nd round, 2005, out of Maple Woods Community College in Missouri. Might be familiar. It's where Albert Pujols went to school. Morrison, a Kansas City native, grew up idolizing George Brett. And Sanchez scrambles back, nobody covering at second. Morrison from Kansas City moved with his family to Louisiana for high school, Slidell, Louisiana. All stayed at North Shore High as a senior. And strike one down the middle. Morrison's father, Tom, a Coast Guard officer, passed away last December of lung cancer. He was never a smoker, but he read every baseball book he could get his hands on, especially that of Charlie Lau. Fed all that information to his son, who's now a major leaguer. Did get to play in front of his father before he passed away.
Good breaking ball right here, following a good fastball, ahead in the count.
Big crowd. We might end up at capacity tonight. They're behind CJ here with the 0-2 pitch. And he gets him swinging. So Wilson works away from the 2-out double by Sanchez and the walk to Ramirez. Rangers coming to bat.
Texas Rangers, and I just wanted to give a shout out to the Marines that are overseas fighting for our freedom. Appreciate everything that you do and wish you the best and get home safely.
Our salute to our heroes continues all through this holiday weekend at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And Ian set to lead off the Rangers first, followed by Andrus and Hamilton, and they face the 34-year-old veteran Javier Vasquez. Ian last night 1 for 5. It was his 4th home run of the week and 12th of the season.
Javier Vasquez has 16 starts this year. His ERA is close to 6. Last 3 starts, his ERA is 1, so he's pitched better. 2,400 career strikeouts, leads all active pitchers. Since 2001, no one in the big leagues has struck out more batters than Javier Vasquez. That's some stat that a lot of people wouldn't know. And his last 3 starts have been better, but you wouldn't call them, at least 2 of them, that great. In 2 starts and 10 innings, he gave up 18 hits through 100 pitches in 5 innings, 100 pitches in 5 1/3. Last start against Oakland was a good start, though. That was 7 innings, no runs. But he's a guy that tends to throw a lot of pitches.
Well, this is going to be his 5th to Kinsler on a 3-1 count. And a leadoff walk. Ian's 52nd walk of the year. He's only struck out 36 times. One of the best ratios in baseball. Southwest Airlines starting lineup. Andrews and Hamilton to be followed by Beltre, Young, Cruz, Moreland, Torrealba catching. David Murphy gets the start in left field and bats 9th. So with Kinsler aboard, here is Elvis. Didn't get a hit last night, but he walked, stole a base, scored a run, and lined out 3 times. Had some very good at-bats. Nothing to show for it in the hit column. Sat out 4 games with the sprained left wrist. Has returned to go 3 for 7 his first 2 games back with 3 stolen bases.
Vasquez was in his prime. He was a 92 to 94 mile an hour fastball guy. His fastball, I don't think, is quite there anymore. Always had a good changeup, always had a really good curveball. Had several pitches he could use to get his strikeouts.
There goes Kinsler. The throw, well, he put on the brakes. No throw necessary. Very convincing bluff, though.
He might have felt like he just didn't get a very good jump, and rather than take a chance on being thrown out right now with nobody out, he just went back to first base. That's smart base running right there.
Something we always associate with Ian. He's going here, and it's lofted to Stanton out in right field, so Kinsler will have to scramble back to the bag. Josh Hamilton last night with our cold hard blast. 2 of them, as a matter of fact. 3rd inning, 395 feet, 2 batters after the shot by Kinsler, and then in the 5th, a 2-run shot, 370 feet to left. His 9th and 10th of the year. 2 of his 3 hits last night. First 2 games of this series, Josh against Marlins pitching, 5 for 7, a double, those 2 homers. He's driven in 4, scored 4. He's enjoyed his brief experience hitting against Vasquez, 3 for 6, a homer and 2 doubles. And sends this one to left field. Morrison will have room on the warning track for the 2nd out.
I just didn't. Last night he went the other way with almost the same kind of a swing for his home run. That time I don't think he hit the ball in a good part of the bat, although it went all the way to the wall in left field.
So with Kinsler still at first, here's Adrian Beltre, and he also has enjoyed his time against Javier Vasquez. 16 for 37, 2 homers, 4 doubles. So that's .432 lifetime average. Adrian, first 2 games of this series, 4 for 7, 2 doubles, 4 runs batted in. He is up to 61 on the season. Right near the leaders all along. Kinsler going this time, and he is in there as the throw bounces away from the second baseman Infante. Stolen base number 17 out of 19 for Kinsler.
The time before was a hit and run. This is just a straight steal attempt. On the hit and run, generally the runner will look back to see what the hitter does. You know he's going to be swinging. And that allowed Ian to put on the brakes and go back when Elvis flied out to right field. That one, he just put his head down and stole second base.
Vasquez now up on Beltre, 0-2. Trying to finish him off here, finish off the Ranger first. Vasquez trying to even his career mark tonight. He is 156 and 157. He's had some very impressive years and some not so good. And Beltre takes that breaking ball.
Yeah, last year wasn't one of his impressive years. He was with the Yankees and had a .532 ERA.
This year he came over to sign with his boyhood friend from Ponce, Puerto Rico, Edwin Rodriguez, coming in as manager. 1 year, $7 million. Rodriguez didn't make it through June without resigning as his ball club ended up last month going 5-23. Longtime friends. Eddie Rodriguez used to give Javier's brother batting lessons back in Puerto Rico. Beltre with 61 RBIs, 35 of those here, and only Mark Teixeira has more home runs batted in this year. Mark Teixeira, by the way, left off the American League All-Star team. Beltre takes ball two. Two balls and two strikes.
I thought when it was all over and done with, the players did an excellent job of selecting all-stars. I thought Ron Washington did an excellent job too.
Always going to be some notable absences. Teixeira, Albert Pujols didn't make it this year. Still 2-2 to Beltre. Ichiro for the first time did not make the All-Star team.
Yeah, he didn't deserve to make the All-Star team this year.
Beltre made it for the second straight year with the Red Sox last year.
Miguel Cabrera was the player's choice at first base ahead of Mark Teixeira.
Players got that right. Lines it right to the third baseman Helms. That happened a number of times last year, or last night for the Rangers, and Kinsler left at second base in a scoreless first.
Dave, great group going out to the ballpark tonight. Big group for San Marcos, looking for a Ranger win. Why not? And we continued our salute to heroes. The Rangers did just that on May 28th as they welcomed as their guests 250 firefighters from Possum Kingdom. And with wildfires continuing to burn throughout the state of Texas, Rangers want to tip their hats to all the first responders out there for all the hard work they do. Dave?
Absolutely. With this entire holiday weekend is about here at the ballpark and on Fox Sports Southwest. Chance to thank all those very selfless, important people. Mike Stanton to lead off the second against C.J. Wilson. And a first pitch strike. CJ in the first gave up the 2-out double to Sanchez, the walk to Ramirez, struck out Logan Morrison to leave those two on. Stand to be followed by Helms and Hayes here in the second. Mike 3 for 9 the first two games of this series. Does most of his damage against lefties, hitting .306. And lifts that one up. There is a jet stream tonight. Josh Hamilton cruises over in front of Nelly and handles that fly ball.
Yeah, CJ's utilized his curveball really well through 13 pitches. He's swung a number of them. All of them have been really good pitches. Started Stanton out with one, busted him in with a good fastball and got him to pop up that last curveball. Struck out Morrison with a couple of men on with his curveball.
Here's Wes Helms getting his second straight start at third base. Last night it was his double in the first that chased Derek Holland. Derek had given up the slam to Ramirez, then got two quick outs, walked John Buck, and on a 3-2 pitch, his 46th of the inning. Helms ended Derek's evening, the shortest start of his career. Rangers battled back, though, got within 6-4 through 5. 7-5 through 6, but from that point on, only the Marlins were able to score on homers by Ramirez and Morrison in the 7th. So they're trying to win their second straight road series at an American League West's. As Helms goes down swinging, second strikeout. Subscribe today to MLB.tv. Take the Rangers wherever you go this season. Every game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. 2 outs, and the catcher Brett Hayes will be the batter. Another first pitch strike from C.J. Wilson. Brett Hayes, 27-year-old out of the University of Nevada, where he was 3-time All-WAC.
CJ's got good command of his pitches so far in this game. Threw Wes Helms a couple of cutters right on the outside corner and busted him in with one. Came in off the plate and missed it. Wow.
An immaculate second inning.
That's all-star stuff right there.
10 pitches, 9 strikes, 2 strikeouts. C.J. Wilson dead on through 2.
Howdy Rangers, I'm Sergeant Mike Higley here at Baga Merrifield, Afghanistan. I'd like to say hi to my family in San Antonio, Texas, and my girl in Dallas, Texas. Happy 4th of July, and we appreciate it. First half, first team.
And Michael Young to lead off the Rangers' second inning, to be followed by Cruz and Moreland. Michael named to his 7th All-Star game in the last 8 years. Only Pudge Rodriguez is named more often as a Ranger, 10 times. Streak only interrupted last year when he was beaten out by Nick Swisher as the final vote candidate. He will take out to Chase Field a 4-game All-Star game hitting streak, which includes, of course, the 2 game-winning hits, the AL's final at-bats, the 06 MVP for his 2-run triple off Trevor Hoffman being the highlight there. Two and 2 leading off the second. Last night a frustrating night for Michael. 0 for 4, all flies to right, 3 of which ended innings. Ended his 9-game home hitting streak.
Yeah, generally, if you're going to say Michael's going to hit 4 balls to right field, you'd pretty much assume at least 1 or 2 of them are going to be line drive base hits.
That went up almost in his chin. Still got a piece. But Michael still the 6th leading hitter in the league, .313. 54 runs batted in, tied for 9th. So pretty close to, for his standards, an average first half. For anybody else, we're talking career numbers. And the 2-2 pitch grounded on the right side. Sanchez will hit Vasquez covering for the out.
Well, Sanchez plays quite a ways off the line and allowed him to catch that ball. The first game, 2 ground balls went right down the right field line for base hits. Well, he'll taken away some singles by playing over there, but maybe by playing that far towards second, he's given up a couple of doubles.
So here's Nelson Cruz, and talk about a frustrating night. Nelly, after his second career 6 RBI game on Friday, the 3-run homer, the bases clearing triple, went 0 for 3 last night. Reached only on a walk. But 19 homers, still 5th in the league.
Staying cool, trying to.
98 degrees tonight for our first pitch. Cooler though. Last night it was an even 100. Vasquez trying to tempt him with breaking stuff away. Nelly not biting. 2 balls and a strike. Mitch Moreland will be next. Got a hold of that one. And it is going way out of here to left. Number 20 for Cruz, and the Rangers lead it 1-0.
Nelly Cruz home runs where you know it's gone. You just want to kind of show some patience waiting for it to come down to find out where it's going to land. You can tell whether that one was going to hit the restaurant, go above the restaurant. Didn't quite get there, but it went all the way to the back of the seats. Take a look at the pitch from Vasquez. It's like a hanging curveball on the inside half of the plate. Much to Nelly's liking.
I was right there with you, though. I thought that might actually clear those windows. Ended up all the way to the back of the lower deck. That's what the boomstick sounds like. 20th homer, 50th run batted in. And Mitch Moreland did this quite a bit last night. Just under what would have been a deep drive. Morrison is there for the second out.
They had a good swing at it. You're right. Just got underneath it a little bit. He's got the power to drive the ball out to any part of the ballpark. He doesn't have to pull it to hit a home run. If he centered that one a little bit more, he could hit it right where Josh hit it last night.
And as Torrealba steps in, distance on the Cruz home run, 409 feet. Now that is a shot to straightaway left field. And it's not his 450 or 455, wherever they ended up estimating his shot in Cleveland, but that's a poke for this part. Torrealba trying to surprise people with the bunt here. Yorvit last night 1 for 3 with his first triple of the year. Also committed a couple of throwing errors. And that triple is only hit in his last 3 games. Right in there from Vasquez, and it's 0-2. Both these games in this series, offensive affairs. Rangers won Friday 15-5, their highest scoring game of the year. 9-5 losers last night. Managing only 7 hits, 3 of which were homers. And this is the 12th game in the 19-game stretch, all against teams below 500, most in last place in their respective divisions. The Rangers just 6-5 so far in that stretch. Torrealba, Vasquez's first strikeout victim, but Nelson Cruz provides tonight's first run on his 20th home run. Brought to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By AT&T, rethink possible. And introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. See your Hyundai dealer for details. 1-0 Rangers. Dave Barnett along with Tom Grieve. As we hit the 3rd inning in the 9-1-2 hitters against C.J. Wilson for Florida, Brian Peterson, Emilio Bonifacio, and Omar Infante. Nelson Cruz coming up with the only Ranger hit in their first 2 innings off of Javier Vasquez. Only hit allowed by Wilson, a 2-out double in the first by Gabi Sanchez, who was stranded at second. Near perfect 2nd inning. He threw 10 pitches, 9 for strikes, and a bunt comes right back to him. 1 pitch to retire Peterson. Earlier today, the All-Star teams announced. Team that Ron Washington will manage, the American League starters. Alex Avila with a late charge. The Tiger catcher overtakes Russell Martin of the Yankees. Gonzalez and 3 Yankees in the infield. Hamilton, Granderson, and Bautista in the outfield. And David Ortiz, the leader after the first ballot was announced at DH. with Michael Young on top. He overtook Michael and never gave it up.
The fans did a great job voting Alex Avila in.
Well, another bunt, and Bonifacio may be the fastest player in baseball. No sense even trying to make a throw on that one. A bunt single. Now the reserves will include Jacoby Ellsbury, who almost overtook Josh Hamilton to become a starter in the outfield. Carlos Quentin from the White Sox, Cabrera from the Indians, Cabrera from the Tigers, Kendrick from the Angels. Martin does make it as a backup catcher. And Beltre and Young to join Hamilton and C.J. Wilson from the Rangers. And in a moment, we'll show you the American League pitching staff. Omar Infante, first time up, grounded to third. We've talked about Bonifacio and his tremendous raw skills, especially speed. Learning how to use those skills. He has been thrown out 3 times in 12 stolen base attempts. Last night, though, he stole in the second inning after bunting and reaching on a throwing error by Torrealba.
If he goes at the rate of 9 out of 12, then he'll be a very successful base stealer. That's a good solid percentage. CJ has been fairly easy to run on for a left-hand pitcher. Needs to vary his delivery to the plate, step off, throw over, try to keep Bonifacio from getting a good jump.
Yeah, base runners are 12 for 16 stealing against Wilson this year. He is going. Here's the throw, and it is not in time. There's stolen base number 10.
A decent jump, not a great jump. That's just speed outrunning the whole situation right there. If you can steal bases at a 75% or above rate, then you're a very successful base stealer.
Especially when you're supposedly learning all about how to steal bases. That's just you on your raw talent. Bonifacio just 26. So now it's scoring position. Second time that the Marlins have had a man out there. And Infante slowing things down, stepping out on Wilson. Two and one.
Fastball count, threw him a changeup.
Infante made the All-Star team last year as a Brave. He finished that year leading Atlanta in batting, .321. Nothing close to that so far his first year with Florida. Came over in the Dan Uggla trade. He has been outstanding since 2007 with runners in scoring position. Tied for 4th in the majors with a .333 average.
Yeah, even though he hasn't hit like the Marlins hope he will, hasn't hit like he hopes he will this year. He's hitting higher than Dan Uggla is.
About 100 points higher.
Yeah, Atlanta's really scratching their heads with Uggla hitting under 200.
See what he gets here at 3-1. A chopper, short hop by Beltre. And Bonifacio has to stay put on the second out. Now the American League pitching staff for Ron Washington and Mike Maddox. Here's the group. Perez, the Indians closer, Valverde from the Tigers, Aaron Crow, former Missouri Tiger star. Josh Beckett, who just had a terrific homecoming in Houston last night, struck out 11 Astros, filled the park. As usual, Mariano Rivera blew a save today against the Mets. Gio Gonzalez from the injury-plagued A's staff. King Felix, reigning Cy Young Award winner.
Two of those pitchers were Ron Washington's choices, Crow and Gonzalez. They were the only representatives from their team. Someone had to make it from their team. But Cruz having a pretty solid year out of the bullpen, and Gio Gonzalez is a terrific young left-handed starter.
Justin Verlander scheduled to pitch next Sunday, so he will not be available for the actual All-Star game. Right in there on the corner to Sanchez. Sanchez had the only hit until the bunt single by Bonifacio this inning.
When Ron Washington chose his pitchers, one thing he had to keep in mind was he needed some left-handers on the staff. He picked Gio Gonzalez, he picked CJ, he also picked David Price. You really don't have strong left-handed relievers in the American League. Most of the closers, in fact, just about all the closers, are right-handed. CJ has experience as a reliever. David Price does to a certain degree. So late, different points in the game with left-hand hitters coming up, that's probably when you'll see Ron Washington go to his left-handers.
You got to think C.J. Wilson's going to be right up there foremost among that group.
Yeah, I got to think C.J. has a great chance to pitch in the game. Quick slider, came back and caught the plate.
So again, this big crowd, big walk-up tonight at the ballpark. Behind him with the 2-2 pitch. The bat goes flying over Beltre, who kind of mockingly makes a stab at catching it.
After a slow pitch, he busted him inside with his best fastball, 92 miles an hour. And he gets Sanchez to swing at it without much luck. Pretty good distance on the bat, though. He got it all the way to the outfield grass.
That's Josh Hamilton distance there. So Torrealba with a word on what to do now with this 2-2 pitch.
Well, you kind of had your choice right here. You can try to drop a breaking ball on the outside corner. You can come right straight back with that fastball that you busted him in with. I don't think you can go wrong with that pitch.
Tried to, but it's 3-2. If Sanchez reaches, Hanley Ramirez will be up. All right, he got him swinging. And Wilson has ended all 3 innings with swinging strikeouts, 4 on the night so far. And he gets the shutdown inning with the Rangers leading 1-0. 1-0 Texas lead on a second inning home run by Nelson Cruz, and here is Murphy batting .233. 4 homers, 15 runs batted in. 0 for 1 pinch hitting, ending the 8th inning last night, but 3 for 8 against Javier Vasquez. And a foul pop, which will come back into the seats.
Got a couple of people to thank for some banana bread. Both of them sent banana bread tonight. Deborah Stewart from San Angelo, Texas. Thank you very much, Deborah. And Jackie Benner from Euless, Texas. Jackie sent it in honor of Percy Benner, a longtime Ranger fan who passed away in April. He was 89.
This one has Morrison retreating a couple of steps for the out. Let's check in again with Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, real quick. Keeley right here turns 13 years old today, but she's holding a sign up, Team Molly. Her mom's going to explain real quick what this is about.
Molly's a little girl that had brain surgery. She has a brain tumor, and she's a big sports fan, and we're just here supporting her. She's at Cook's Hospital in Fort Worth, and we're going to go see her tomorrow.
There we go, and she's watching tonight. Big Ranger fan. So let's hear it for Team Molly. There we go. Way to go. There, Dave.
All right, Jim.
Very nice, Jim.
Ian Kinsler. They do fantastic work at Cook Hospital in Fort Worth. So should be in good hands there. 1-1 to Kinsler. Began the game with a walk, stole second, and stayed at second. As Andrews flied out, Hamilton flied out, and Beltre lined out to third. Javier Vasquez began the season with a mysterious loss of confidence. Might have been because his velocity, which is usually somewhere in the low 90s, had all but disappeared. He was having a hard time getting it up to the mid 80s in the spring. But he slowly built his velocity back. Starting to get some good backdoor movement against right-hand hitters. You can see that a little bit. Sends this one very high, not all that deep to left field. Plenty of room out there for Morrison.
Just a fraction from being a home run. Good swing. You hit the ball exactly where you want to hit it. As far as leverage goes, but he just got underneath him a little bit. Vasquez knows he got away with it right there. Yeah, his velocity is fine today. It's 89 to 92.
Just didn't have it at all in April. Started to come back in May. But had to be convinced to keep throwing the fastball, not just his off-speed stuff. And a line drive to center field. Peterson comes in to handle that one. 3 fly ball outs in a 1-2-3. Ranger third. Vasquez retires the side in order for the first time. In his first All-Star game.
Oh, he'll be quite excited, and what I'm hoping is that with his next start, I think scheduled for Friday, I'd like to see Ron give him that start.
A start in the All-Star game on Tuesday.
Right.
You going to do any lobbying in that regard?
You could probably make that happen.
Well, I'm going to suggest it. I'm telling him I think it'd be good for the organization.
Well, how about the first half he's had? Designated the team ace at the beginning of the year. Has he upheld that in your mind?
He really has. He's been the most consistent pitcher we've had. He's had some hard luck at times, but, each start he's out there and he's consistent. His pitch count may get a little high, but that's about the only thing that you'd like to see change in the second half. But he's been as consistent as we could ask for.
Nolan, several of these pitchers that have been selected for the All-Star team are scheduled to pitch on Sunday prior to the All-Star game, which means they might not be available to pitch in the All-Star game. Do you have any thoughts on how teams should use their pitchers in preparation for the All-Star game?
Well, I know that, Tom, in the past, they've always tried to get as many people in the game as they can, and it's gone more to an exhibition now than what it was, 20 years ago. But I think with those guys being starters that are on that roster, that'll say like CJ, who's going to be rested, I'd suggest that they go a couple innings with those guys so they don't get into a situation where they get short on pitching as they did that year in Milwaukee.
Sure.
Ball and a strike to Hanley Ramirez, who walked, being pitched to very carefully his first time up. Nolan, last night the return of Tommy Hunter and Darren O'Day. Scott Feldman apparently is not too far from being ready to return. How can their return impact the pitching staff?
Well, I think what it does is gives obviously Ron some flexibility, because he can use some of those guys out of the bullpen if he wants to, or if one of the starters falters, he can put one of them in the rotation. So it gives him some flexibility with some experienced pitchers that he hasn't had the ability to do up to this point.
Pop up off the bat of Ramirez. Kinsler will back out into right for the first out.
Nolan, do you have any history with Jack McKeon? What are your thoughts on Jack coming back to manage?
Well, I go way back with Jack. He was in Kansas City when I was with the Angels, and he used to give the umpires grief about the way I rocked on the mound with my foot that was in contact with the rubber, because I would lift my foot and set it in front of the rubber. I still had contact with the rubber, but he always, that was a sore spot with him, because he didn't think that was legal, and he always raised all kind of Cain about it. But Jack's been a good baseball man, and one thing about it, he's always had a passion for the game.
Just for Jack, did you lift it a little higher and step a little closer to the plate?
Well, I tried to do anything I could. Him and Billy Martin, I tried to aggravate at all times.
Nolan, this All-Star weekend, all about honoring heroes, military first responders, and I know you and the organization enjoy the chance to do that.
Well, we really do, and I think that, that is obviously one of the things that we try to do on a regular basis, nightly here. Not only our military folks, and we have a great relationship with them and the folks at Fort Hood, but also, you take your first responders and your firemen like we had with the wildfires this year and things of that nature. We can't give those folks enough credit. And so any opportunity we have, our attitude with our organization is that we're going to honor them and recognize them.
Great crowd on hand tonight to do that as part of 4th of July weekend. 0-2 pitch to Stanton, and a very clean 1-2-3-4 for C.J. Wilson. Nolan, we appreciate the visit.
Okay, guys, let's hope he takes it on too for us.
C.J. Wilson has ended each of the first 4 innings with strikeouts. Southwest is brought to you by Hyundai. Introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. See your Hyundai dealer for details. Hamilton, Beltre, and Young in the fourth against Javier Vasquez, who was allowed only one base hit. It left the yard off the bat of Cruz in the second. And for the Marlins, no runs on 2 hits through 4 against C.J. Wilson. C.J. throwing just 9 pitches to get their 4, 5, and 6 hitters in order in the top of the fourth. Hamilton, the first of 4 Rangers already to fly out to Logan Morrison in left his first trip. Not deep here. Foul territory. Third baseman Helms is there. And let's check in with Emily Jones.
Well, guys, Josh making his 4th straight All-Star appearance. He says they never do get old, and this one a little extra special considering he's taking 3 teammates in Ron Washington and the entire Rangers coaching staff with him to Arizona.
I was messing with Wash last year, talking to him about, having him at the All-Star game next year. And he said, yeah, that'd be nice. And so we went to the World Series. He's there, messing around with him again the other day about, I was congratulating him about him going. And he said, yeah, he said, but I'm already thinking about going again next year. So we got some work to do.
Definitely some work to do for this team. However, in a good position as they head down the stretch run of the unofficial first half of the season, guys.
Absolutely. 1 ball, 1 strike to Beltre. Adrian selected as third baseman for the Boston Red Sox last year, so he will be going in consecutive years. Well hit to right field. Stanton gives up the chase. It's in the bullpen, and it's 2-0.
Stanton said, I'm not going to waste any energy going after that one. I know where it's headed, and I'm not wasting my time. Fastball out over the plate. He just drove it on a line into the back of the Ranger bullpen.
Number 15 for Adrian Beltre.
Stan takes a couple steps and says, the heck with it.
400 feet even. Yeah, it's 93 degrees. He's not going to get that. So Stanton recognizing probably before anybody else in the ballpark that it was about to be 2-0. Michael Young rips a base hit to left field. He is headed for 2. Here's the throw by Morrison, not in time. The third Ranger hit of the night, all for extra bases.
That was a well-hit ball, too. This fastball, he's trying to throw it away, but it comes back right over the inside half of the plate. Hard line drive. Nice drive by Morrison, who cuts it off. At least makes Michael slide into second base on what looked like a certain double.
And Michael is safe at second, safe and secure New York life. Scoring position, 1 out for Cruz's second at bat against Vasquez. First time up on a 2-1 pitch, hit it to the back of the lower level seats. Straightaway left 409 feet. His 20th home run of the year. Here's what that shot looked like. A hanging breaking pitch all the way to the back row back there. Nelly, an all-star 2 years ago, did not get into the game in St. Louis. Our Ford leaderboard, this is extra base hits since May 23rd, and Nelson Cruz now right up there with Michael Morse of the Nationals with the most in the major leagues. May 23rd, because that's the day Josh Hamilton came back. And 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cruz that year, 09, the home run derby runner-up to Prince Fielder. Big Poppy hitting for the American League this year, gets to pick his teammates, and Cruz said he would listen if David Ortiz wanted to consider making him one of his 3 selections. New twist to the home run derby that Josh Hamilton so dominated the previous year. Big cut and a miss out in front of the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, Vasquez can take something off his curveball. That's what he struck out Torrealba with in the 2nd inning. It's almost like a change-up curveball. Throw a hard one and then a soft one.
Fans, next time you want to catch a Rangers game but can't find your favorite seats through the Rangers, head to StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Texas Rangers, where you'll find a great selection of seats for every game. Vasquez with his 2nd strikeout brings up Mitch Moreland. Mitch, first time up, flied out to left. This ball got out in front of a little bit too early. Mitch 0 for 11 since his last hit. That was a home run on Wednesday down at Minute Maid Park. The oddity of his year, he has 10 game-winning runs batted in. Runners in scoring position, he's 11 for 56 on the year, shade under 200. So that number not that impressive, but the game on the line, he's tied for 4th in the league with those 10 game winners. And going opposite field this time, and well back into the club seats. And it is 1-2. It's basically a full house tonight. I've not yet heard the official attendance, but a big walk-up crowd. There are good seats, lots of them still available, by the way, for tomorrow night for the 4th of July ball game against the Orioles at 7. And the biggest fireworks show of the year after the game tomorrow. So we hope you can join us out here. Again, there are plenty of good seats. It's going to be a good crowd, but not a sellout. You may assume that the 4th of July is already sold out. Not the case. If you can't make it, then by all means, watch it on Fox Sports Southwest with us. Boy, that foul ball skipping like a rock across a pond through the stands.
Hope there wasn't heads that was hitting.
Our AT&T trivia question tonight. July 3rd, 83. The Rangers scored a record 12 runs in the 15th inning against the A's. Who was the Rangers' RBI leader in that game?
Might know that.
Remember that game very well because I was waiting to do a post-game Ranger talk show. I thought it was never going to happen.
Never going to end.
He just kept scoring and scoring and scoring some more. Hayes able to chase that bouncing ball quick enough to keep Michael Young at second base. And it's 2-2 now on Moreland. Vasquez coming off an outing Tuesday at Oakland, which he threw 7 innings of 3 hit ball, 1 unearned run. Lost it 1-0. Fills up the count here to Moreland.
Mitch had a good at bat the first time up. He just got underneath one that he flied out to left field with. He's battling him right here too. Vasquez has first base open. Torrealba's the next hitter. He struck out Torrealba the first time up. I'm sure he's going to be careful here to Mitch. Mitch looks like he's swinging the bat really well.
Vasquez pretty much grinding the pace to a halt here with the man on.
He's probably used to working with John Buck. Hayes hasn't caught a whole lot. Oh, there's a curveball.
Boy, 2 big strikeouts with a run in. Young at second. He gets Cruz and Moreland on basically the same pitch. But Adrian Beltre, with his 15th home run of the year, has made it 2-0 Rangers through 4. July 3rd, 83, Rangers scored a record 12 runs in the top of the 15th inning, with Vietnam veteran Bobby Jones leading the way with 4 runs batted in, 2 doubles for 3 RBIs in that huge Ranger fifth. How about that for a timely trivia question?
That's coming up with a great game when you didn't expect it. 2 doubles in the 15th inning.
C.J. Wilson has allowed only 2 hits through 4. Gabby Sanchez double in the first, and a bunt single by Emilio Bonifacio in the third. Bottom third of the order here in the fifth. Helms, Hayes, and Peterson. Yeah, it starts it with a good backdoor breaking ball for a strike. Helms struck out his first time up, as did Hayes.
Well, CJ has all his pitches working, whether it's a hard breaking ball, the curve ball, his cutter. He's had good command with his fastball. He's thrown some changeups. He's thrown all his pitches and had success with all of them. One of those nights where so far you're feeling good that whatever you decide to throw, it's all working for you.
This one lifted high to center field, and Josh Hamilton will lope back, get under it, and take care of out number 1. Ron Washington's manager selections announced today, including Matt Wieters, Michael Kadire, Gio Gonzalez, David Price, C.J. Wilson, Aaron Crow, and Jose Valverde.
And the Orioles, the Twins, the Royals all had to have a representative in the A's. Ron wanted a third catcher. Matt Wieters is having a pretty good year. Michael Kadire is doing a nice job for the Twins.
And we're joined by 2-time All-Star Steve Busby.
Oh, thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Nice to see you guys.
Haven't seen you in a long time, Buzz.
I know it. Seems like just yesterday.
74 and 75, right?
Yeah.
Maybe All-Star team?
Yep.
Best memory? We can come back to you on that if you want.
Yeah, there were so many of them, Dave, because it's a unique situation, a unique experience for me. I mean, it was, the first time I went there, I was open-mouthed about everything. Just golly gee whiz, look at all these guys. I mean, playing with the likes of Gaylord Perry and Catfish Hunter and people like that, Raleigh Fingers and all the pitchers. And
Fergie Jenkins.
That was something. And believe me, it didn't disappoint me. I didn't get a chance to pitch that year. Throw those guys out there. They had Gossage pitch. As a matter of fact, Eric Nadell was just reading the list of guys that pitched in that ball game. All 4 of them. It was it.
It was a different show.
Did use 9 pitchers in that game?
No. Gaylord Perry, who really wasn't known as an extremely hard thrower, went out, and if there had been a radar gun, he would have been 97 or 98 for 3 innings. I mean, he just. And I said, "Whoa, wait a minute! That's not the Gaylord I saw last week." But they said, "This is the All-Star game."
Red Hayes strikes out for the second time tonight.
You know, Nolan said the same thing, Buzz, when we were talking to him, that he'd like to see the game go back to where a starting pitcher, or even any pitcher in the game, pitches multiple innings, not just 1 inning.
Yeah, I would too. I think part of the charm of the All-Star game was that it was for bragging rights between the American and National League, and I think that's lost. It's great to have an exhibition for the fans, but I think if you put a little intensity back into it, the bragging rights for the leagues, it would probably make it a better game, and I think the fans would enjoy it more.
Am I remembering right that the president of the National League, Warren Giles, used to walk into the locker room before every game and basically kind of lay out the expectation for the National League to win, and then they won almost every year during his era.
That's right. That's right. I mean, it was taken winning was taken very seriously.
Well, it's more along the lines of an exhibition game, but compared to the other All-Star games, by far the most competitive, so it still maintains that aura to it.
I've always felt that if the All-Star game is your showcase event, that managers should do what it takes to tailor their rotation so that the best pitcher can pitch in the All-Star game. I mean, the best pitchers, there's 3 or 4 of them every year, and they should all be featured in the All-Star game.
No, I agree with you, and I think they, again, I agree with what Nolan said about pitching multiple innings. At least let him throw 2 innings, if not 3.
Even the starter almost always threw 3 innings.
Yes. Yeah.
2-2 pitch, hit high to center field, and again Hamilton goes back to make the catch. And that is 8 straight set down by C.J. Wilson. We're halfway gone. 2-0 Rangers. More with Steve Busby when we come back.
Staff Sergeant Kevin White in Camp Leatherneck, Afghanistan. I want to say happy 4th of July to my beautiful wife Heidi, my parents in Del Rio, family and friends in DFW, and all throughout Texas. Go Rangers!
He's got it down, doesn't he? In the Ranger 5th, Torrealba, Murphy, and Kinsler leading 2-0. 3 hits against Vasquez. This one will reach the seats. Homers by Cruz and Beltre, and a double by Michael Young. As if C.J. Wilson has the good fortune to hang on to this lead. He will go to 9-3. He's got one more start. He could be 10-3 if the break, having pitched on Friday.
Yep.
All the ingredients for an all-star start, perhaps. Nolan Ryan thought so when he visited with us.
If Nolan said that, I'm not. Who's mine to disagree with him? I'm not going to disagree.
Line drive caught by Infante.
No, I think that's reasonable. I don't know what the schedules of the other starting pitchers that were selected are going to be, but you put double-digit wins up before the All-Star break, and I don't think anybody can quibble about the basis for you starting a game.
Well, Justin Verlander is online to pitch the Sunday before, so he'd probably be most people's number one thought, but will be unavailable. So that puts it out to the group of those who are available.
Yeah, to me, Verlander should be available to pitch that game, because what a great challenge. You've got the all-star lineup. You've got one of the best pitchers in baseball. He'd probably be throwing 100 miles an hour. And, what better place to showcase that than one of the best pitchers against the best hitters, with him going all he's got for a couple innings.
Yeah.
It's too bad that might not happen.
Yeah, and the deal that, well, the fans want to see all the players. Now they want to see good baseball.
Sure.
Murphy rolls over on this one. Infante is there for the second out. And now let's go to our Fox Sports Southwest studios for a McDonald's Dollar Drink Game Break. All right, Tim, thanks. Here's Ian Kinsler, who has walked, stolen a base, and flied to left. Javier Vasquez pitching a pretty strong game, just not as strong as C.J. Wilson pitching a 2-hit shutout through 5. Rubber game of this series, and it's the Orioles in for the 4th of July. A good breaking ball there for 1-1. Rangers win. They will take 4 series out of their last 5. The only exception being the Mets last weekend. Rangers 1 game up on the Angels, who are scoreless at home against the Dodgers in the bottom of the 5th. Seattle with that win behind Blake Bevan, 3-1. Oakland also a winner this afternoon, 7-2 over Arizona. And a shot through the hole, base hit for Kinsler. Well, the Rangers face the Orioles tomorrow through Wednesday. You can enjoy another Thirsty Tuesday, $1 off 16-ounce draft beer, 24-ounce fountain soft drinks, and half-liter bottles of Ozarka water. Get your tickets now at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. So Kinsler aboard with 2 outs for Elvis Andrus. He has fly to right, line to center. Last 2 games, Elvis 0 for 6 now, but with 4 of those 6 outs, line outs. So hitting the ball pretty well after coming back from the sprained wrist. Javier Vasquez only 4-8 on the year. An unimpressive 583 earned run average, but well, this is kind of the way I think most people remember him pitching when he was really on top of his game so far.
Yeah, his velocity's back up, which apparently had been a problem for him earlier in this year. But, this is a guy that's had 10 straight years of 10-plus wins.
Kinsler is running, and he is in there as the throw is in and out of the glove of Bonifacio. His second steal of the game, 18th of the year.
Let's see what happened. Never held on to the ball. Looked like he got his hand in there anyway. Second base umpire, Angel Campos, right on top of it, bearing down.
I don't know. That might have been an out if he'd hung on. Looked like he slid right into it. 0-2 to Elvis. Jeff Qualis, our cameraman, on top of that one. Rangers tonight with runners in scoring position 0 for 3, including with Ian in the first inning, walking and stealing second. 1-2. If Elvis reaches, then Josh Hamilton will bat for the third time. Angels and Dodgers, the only other game going on. They are now moving to the 6th inning, scoreless at Angel Stadium. Santana against Billingsley. Breaking ball lifted out to shallow left. Could be a problem, but the shortstop Bonifacio goes back out to make a tumbling catch and end the Ranger threat. End our time with Steve Busby, two-time All-Star. We enjoyed it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Buzz.
Nissan pitching matchup for tomorrow night's game against the Orioles here on Fox Sports Southwest at 7 o'clock. Chris Jakubauskas, 2-1 for the Orioles against Colby Lewis, coming off a tremendous outing at Minute Maid Park last week to improve his record to 7-7, lower his ERA to 4.32. So those two on the mound for the 4th of July, and again, there are still good seats available to take that one in here at the ballpark, as well as the huge postgame fireworks show. Top of the order for Wilson here in the 6th. Bonifacio has the most recent of 2 hits for the Marlins, a bunt single back in the 3rd. The only other hit, a double by Gabby Sanchez back in the 1st. CJ has been the picture of efficiency. He has not thrown more than 16 pitches in any inning. He had a 10-pitch 2nd, a 9-pitch 4th. Coming off a 13-pitch 5th. Since that Bonifacio bunt single, he's retired 8 straight. 3 on strikes. Strike there to make it 2-1. Wilson ended the first 4 innings with strikeouts. Alexi Ogando, who ended his first 6 innings the other night on strikes.
That slider brought it from the outside, right over the outside half of the plate. Started out of the strike zone, and comes right back in and catches the strike zone. Right at the bottom of the strike zone, too. What a good pitch.
Dodgers have put a run on the board in the top half of the 6th at Anaheim, up 1-0. This could be trouble. No play for C.J. Wilson, and Bonifacio has his second straight infield hit. He's got 2 of their 3 base hits. Let's check in with Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. With C.J. Wilson's father, Jeff Wilson, who got upgraded to the VIP section tonight. When did you hear that C.J. made the All-Star team, his very first All-Star game?
C.J. texted me this morning about 10:30. Said, hey, Dad, I made the All-Star team.
And what was going through your mind? All that hard work of taking him to the Little League games and coaching him finally paid off. Huh?
Finally paid off, yeah. No, I'm really proud of him. His mom and I are very proud of him. And, you know, it's a goal he had. And so it's another goal accomplished besides the big triple in Houston.
Now, Jeff, with you teaching him just about everything, I'm sure you're going to be riding first class and going to the All-Star game, correct?
Oh, I'm not sure we're riding first class, but we're all going to the All-Star game. The guys just informed me that we all have to wear suits on the plane.
Very nice play first. And real quick, I thought you told me something very interesting. You actually tried to talk CJ out of being a pitcher early on, right?
Well, when he's about 11 or 12 years old, he wanted to be a pitcher. And I said, no, just wait a while. You know, it's a really tough position. You know, you're really good at first base and center field. So, you know, maybe you should stay with that. But he was very insistent. So we went to a lot of Angel games and watched the pitching. And we had some pitching lessons. And because I just played second base and Little League in the Midwest, you know, I wasn't a pitcher, so I didn't know too much about it, but got some books and read them, and CJ read them, and the rest is history. So
there we go. Well, congratulations, Jeff. And I know you're a big fan. You're always out here. He never sits still. He's usually walking around the park, but with seats like this, you got to stay here tonight.
Got to stay here tonight. Yeah, right.
There we go. All right, congratulations, Dave.
I would say that Little League dad, now Major League dad, now All-Star dad, did a tremendous job bringing up CJ. Did they?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the advice, don't pitch when you're little. Be a position player. You always have time to be a pitcher.
Well, CJ will tell you that he's not up here because he has overwhelming athletic skills. He learned to do things the right way. He's here as much for what happened upstairs than whatever power he had in his left arm, with obviously great parental support. And Tom, being the father of a great athlete yourself, it's not just about the physical talent.
No, a lot of hard work goes into it too, and the young players have to have the desire to do it.
This is going to be in there for a base hit, and Bonifacio will score as it gets past Murphy to the wall. Sanchez will wind up at second base, and it's now 2-1.
Well, that's a well hit ball by Sanchez, his second double of the game. Unfortunately, Bonifacio had that little swinging bunt. With his speed, there was going to be no play on it. Fastball up and in, and Sanchez was ready for it.
Murphy got there, just had to kind of run up his arm a little bit.
Yeah, Sanchez is not a great runner. If David was able to field it cleanly, he would have been able to hold Sanchez to a single.
So it is a single and an E7 charged to David Murphy. So Sanchez and Bonifacio have all 4 hits for the Marlins. And that speed of Bonifacio creating a run here, beating out the infield hit, racing around on the shot by Sanchez.
You add up the distance for Bonifacio's hits, it's probably about 45 feet.
Yeah, bunt single, swinging bunt single. The Marlins now even with the Rangers in base hits, 4 apiece. Difference being that 2 of the Rangers hits left the yard by Cruz and Beltre. Here has accomplished that twice last night. Tonight he's walked and popped to second. Just having a horrendous year when Jack McKeon took over. Hayden, the cleanup hitter. .385 in 10 games in that role since then. In there 1-2. But beyond that, the message that McKeon seems to be giving to pretty much everybody on his roster is just relax and have fun. Don't try to hit the 8-run home runs. Be selective. Says they were swinging at way too many pitches out of the strike zone when he took over. As a team will do when things are falling apart and everybody wants to be the guy that ends the slide. Well, they're showing some signs that they have ended their slide this week. This foul handled by Yorvit Torrealba. There's the second out. Ranger fans, come out to the Whataburger in Dallas at I-30 and Cockrell Hill, 11 a.m. this coming Wednesday, July 6th. And you can meet Matt Harrison. And while you're there, you can sign up to be the Whataburger What fan and register to win 4 tickets in the owner's seats for the Rangers-Indians game on September 13th.
Good pitch right there. Jammed Ramirez, little sleeper.
So 2 outs. Sanchez still in scoring position for Morrison. The left fielder has struck out and fly to center tonight. Last night doubled and homered. He has tied his career high 4 consecutive games with an RBI and a chance to extend it here. But he looks a good breaking ball for strike 1. .266 on the season. Runners in scoring position only 193. Pop up. Beltre drifting over. The wind has died down considerably. Not sure how much effect it really has on that shot now. Still coming in from right center, just nowhere near the first few innings velocity that we saw.
Their family, they both brought their gloves. Ended up with a rebound.
Not that much of a jet stream anymore, if at all. Now a 92-degree evening. The 0-2 pitch. Did he hold up? Yes, he did, says Joe West.
I'll give it to him. That was about as close as you can go without swinging, but I think Joe West made a good call.
So 1-2, and about as big a pitch as Wilson has thrown in this game coming right here. Didn't hold up that time. 7th strikeout for Wilson. He has ended 5 of the first 6 innings with a strikeout. Marlins get to him here for their first run on 2 base hits. They leave one in scoring position. inning brought to you by Sonic Drive-In. Tonight's jackpot is up to $2,800 plus dinner for two to Sonic Drive-In. And tonight the Rangers are hitting for Eileen Whitney from Dallas. If a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Eileen Whitney from Dallas will win $25,000. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. And some big sticks here in the sixth against Javier Vasquez, Hamilton, Beltre, and Young. C.J. Wilson battling to keep it a one-run game with a big strikeout to end that last inning. And foul ball off the bat of Hamilton, who is flied to left and fouled out to the third baseman Helms. C.J. pushed all the way to 17 pitches. Most he has thrown in any of the first six. Vasquez knocks it down, throws off balance. Hamilton is 0 for 3. Adrian Beltre hit it hard both times tonight. He ended the first by lining out to Helms at third, and then last time up, 1 out, a 1-1 pitch. Like Stanton couldn't even bear to watch it land in the bullpen, much less chase it. Adrian's 15th home run of the year, 400 feet even. Vasquez giving up 2 homers tonight, up to 14 for the year. He's given up only a total of 2 earned runs over his last 3 starts, with only 1 win and 2 losses to show for it, with a severe lack of offensive support over that stretch. Beltre trying to get that one into the seats. Wailing away at 2-0. And the Marlins in another 1-run game. They lost 14 straight games decided by 1. After winning 14 of their first 18. Beltre hits it hard for the 3rd straight time. He's aboard with 1 out. Next week, baseball's biggest stars gather together in the Arizona desert for one spectacular night in the summer's biggest event, as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 MLB All-Star Game. Coverage on Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix, begins at 7 p.m. only on Fox. And don't forget, you can see a special world premiere sneak preview of the upcoming Fox show, The X Factor, during the broadcast. First ball hitting, Michael Young, tailor-made double play ball. Hit so hard, Adrian Beltre had to stop running. He was only halfway to the bag at second. Ford Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Dave Barnett, Tom Green, C.J. Wilson has allowed only 1 run on 4 hits through 6 innings. He has struck out 7. And here's a round hand center, great hands.
CJ's had good command of outstanding stuff tonight. He's had one of the better breaking balls that he's had, whether it's a cutter or the hard breaking ball or a slower curveball. And he's had a good fastball. Last fastball that he used to strike out Morrison in the 6th inning was 93 miles an hour. He's had good velocity, good location, and all his pitches working well for him tonight.
80 pitches. Only 26 balls. And again, 7 strikeouts. At least 1 per inning. The only one that didn't end the inning was the 5th when he struck out Hayes for the 2nd out of that inning. Mike Stanton struck out last time up that end of the 4th. First time flied to center. Stanton, though, with the ability to tie this game on any swing here.
Yeah, you don't get the, you get the feeling that if you make a good pitch, you might be able to strike him out, but you also get the feeling with one swing of the bat, you might watch it go 500 feet too.
Stanton, though, is now working on a string of 70 straight at bats without a home run, the longest drought of his career.
Yeah, that's surprising. Looks like he did, by mistake, he'd hit one somewhere within 70 at bats.
Right in there on the corner, 2-2. So 16 homers, still tied for 9th in the National League.
Keeping it down for sure. So far.
There's number 8.
A good hard cutter came right across the strike zone. Just couldn't make contact with it. Right to the inside corner.
8 strikeouts, all swinging. It's Stanton for the 2nd straight time. Now Wes Helms struck out his first trip fly to center last time up. Helms coming over from the Phillies 3 years ago. Ground ball to third. Beltre is there. Take a look at the National League All-Star starting lineup as voted by you, the fans, and announced earlier today. McCann behind the plate with Fielder, Weeks, Reyes, Polanco in the infield, Braun, Kemp, Berkman in the outfield.
Dave, I'd say that's a pretty solid job by the fans right there. You could make a couple arguments maybe around the league, but overall, good job by the fans.
Lance Berkman makes it as a starter. A big comeback year for him.
Also.
Here's Brett Hayes. He has struck out both times up.
If he was having this kind of year last year, the Astros would have gotten a lot more for him in a trade.
Quickly 0-2. Player ballot reserves now for the NL. You've got Chipper Jones, who made it about 20-25 times, it seems.
A lot of respect by the players to include him.
Hunter Pence definitely deserving as the Astros representative. And the pitching staff for Bruce Bochy of the Giants. We'll have, well, 4 familiar arms to pick from there as closer Wilson, starters Kane, Lincecum, and Vogelsong.
We got 4 from the Giants and 3 from the Phillies.
And Highland Park's Clayton Kershaw, very deserving, making it for the Dodgers. Another inning-ending strikeout. 9 for the game through 7 for CJ. An 11-pitch, 1-2-3, 7th inning.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise and join with the Florida Marlins.
Sponsor of youth baseball leagues in your community. If you would like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswire.com. Nelson Cruz, who got the scoring started with a home run in the second inning, 409 feet to the back row, the lower level seats. Out in left field, his 20th of the year. Last time up, he struck out. What a pitcher's duel after 21s scored here all told on Friday. 14 last night. Tonight, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Rangers. 1 run, 4 hits for the Marlins. And Florida, for the first time tonight, has some activity out in their bullpen. Left-hander Mike Dunn, right-hander Bert Badenhop beginning to throw. Rangers have seen both of those two in the first 2 games of this series. Done last night, a scoreless inning. Let's go back to the National League All-Star roster and the managers' selections by Bruce Bochy. including young Starlin Castro of the Cubs, Gabby Sanchez, the Marlins rep. Oshie went for 3 of his own pitchers, Heath Bell and Tyler Clippard. Vasquez about to throw his 88th pitch. He threw only 7 in the 6th inning. That included a single by Beltre, but the very next pitch he got the 6-4-3 double play off Michael Young's bat. Rangers have a hit in all but 2 innings, the 1st and the 3rd. The difference, the home run by Beltre with 1 out in the 4th. That was followed by a Young double, but he struck out Cruz and Moreland. Right side through the diving Infante. Base hit for Cruz to lead off the Rangers 7th. American and National League All-Star managers Ron Washington and Bruce Bochy, in conjunction with Major League Baseball, have announced the candidates for the 2011 All-Star Game Final Vote, sponsored by Sprint, which is held exclusively on MLB.com, the official website of Major League Baseball, and the individual club websites. Here are the players for the 4-day online voting for the 2 remaining All-Star roster spots. In the American League, Alex Gordon, Adam Jones, Paul Konerko, Victor Martinez, and Ben Zobrist. In the National League, Andre Ethier, Todd Helton, Ian Kennedy, Mike Morse, and Shane Victorino. That's going to do it for Javier Vasquez as the right-hander Bert Badenhop. Make it the left-hander Mike Dunn coming in to deal with Mitch Moreland when we come back.
Hi, this is Michael Young. Just wanted to issue a heartfelt thank you to all the troops, the brave men and women who allow us our freedom and liberty here in our country. Thank you so much from me and my teammates for allowing us to do what we love to do. Thank you. Come home safe, come home safe.
Michael Young, named earlier today to his 7th All-Star team. One of 4 Rangers selected along with Josh Hamilton, Adrian Beltre, and C.J. Wilson. Javier Vasquez gone after 6+ innings. Very strong work. 2 runs on 6 hits, struck out 3, walked only 1, the first batter of the game, Kinsler.
Well, Jack McKeon's got a couple of good lefties out in his bullpen. We saw Michael Dunn, who's having a pretty good season. Also Randy Choate, who's having a real good season.
Lefty, lefty. First pitch hit a long way out to right center field. Peterson, though, with room in front of the wall to make the catch.
Right. Mitch Moreland's got to be leading the league in the last month with balls hit just like that. He's had 2 of them today. He had 1 to left field and now dead center field. little bit to the right of center field, probably about 400 feet away. Just gets underneath it a little bit. Hit it well enough to go out at some nights, but tonight not much wind, and it goes pretty much right to the middle of the warning track. Just missed it off the lefty.
Wouldn't have needed more than a breath of wind.
No, that's all.
Well, that would have quickly made things a lot more comfortable. Instead, 1 out. And here's Torrealba, who was struck out in line to second. And they have Cruz picked off and in a rundown, and Bonifacio handles it himself. What a great chance there to see his straight line-to-line speed there. Emilio Bonifacio, and it goes 1-3-6.
Yep, here comes the sprint to first. Bonifacio had a head start, though.
Now Gary Pettis in the face of Angel Hernandez. The first base umpire made that call. Joined now by Ron Washington.
Well, Gary, I don't think is arguing about the tag. He might have been arguing that it was a balk.
Yeah, there was no question about the tag. But it's about as exercised as we've seen Gary Pettis get this year.
Ron's trying to let Gary get his words in. But at the same time, he's got to stick up. He wants to keep his coach in the game and stick up for him at the same time.
And now they're also dealing with the crew chief, Joe West, and that does it for Wash.
Don't get too close, Wash.
Well, I'm glad I'm not a very good lip reader. But he is unloading it.
If you're not a very good lip reader, then you won't know what you wouldn't have known what he was saying.
I don't think I want to know.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure what precipitated the argument, but it's gone from Gary over to Ron.
This is involving all but the home plate umpire, Lance Barrett. See anything in that move?
Well, it's hard to tell from that angle. Generally, if a pitcher balks, he brings his left-hand pitcher bring his right leg too far toward home plate, cross that imaginary 45-degree angle. You really can't tell from there. You know, Gary Pettis was a great base stealer and studies the pitchers, so maybe we see better from this angle. That's pretty close. I think we see Gary put his hand out. I think what Gary's saying is that his foot went over that 45-degree line toward home plate rather than toward first base, and it looked like it was pretty close.
Hey, how about? I think that angle basically tells the same story, and that had to be immediately Gary Pettis picking up on that.
As soon as the foot hit the ground, Gary was pointing toward the pitcher. If you draw a line from the pitcher's rubber to home plate and from the pitcher's rubber to first base, that's 90 degrees.
Best angle right here.
If you split it in half, it's 45 degrees. You've got to step to the left side of that 45-degree angle. And if you keep going, watch Gary's left hand. He's pointing right at his foot. I think in Gary's mind, he stepped to the home plate on the home plate side of that 45-degree line. And from our vantage point, it's difficult to tell, but Gary certainly felt strongly about it.
Scott Coolbaugh, Rangers hitting coach, replacing Gary Pettis in the first base coach's box, and Jackie Moore has been here a few times, bench coach turned manager.
The purpose of that rule is so the pitcher can't deceive the hitter. because you could easily step almost right toward home plate and look exactly like a pitch, and then at the same time flip it over to first base, and almost be impossible for a runner to ever steal a base with a left-hand pitcher on the mound. That's why they make that imaginary 45-degree line. One year in spring training, they actually drew that line with chalk, so everybody could see, the pitcher, the umpire, exactly where that line was. It's a judgment call by the umpire where that foot comes down. And obviously, Angel Hernandez's judgment, he did come down okay.
Well, it was a big potential insurance run that is no longer on the base paths. And 2-2 to Torrealba.
Yeah, and if Mitch had not gotten underneath that ball and hit it more on a line, it wouldn't have mattered, because 2 runs already would have scored. Wind or no wind, if he hit it, if he centered it, there wouldn't have been any doubt about it.
Second ejection of the year for both Wash and Pettis, and Torrealba looks at strike 3. Not a very popular inning in front of a huge crowd for the umpiring crew. We move to the 8th. It's still a 2-1 game. Southwest is brought to you by Chevrolet. See your North Texas Chevy dealers for Independence Day savings. C.J. Wilson hanging on to a 1-run lead as he faces Peterson, Bonifacio, and Infante here in the 8th. He's allowed only 4 base hits, all by 2 of the Marlins. Bonifacio has 2. He scored their run. Sanchez the other 2. He drove in their run back in the 6th.
Well, some nice pitching by CJ. Once Sanchez got to second on Murphy's error, he got Ramirez and Morrison with a tying run at second base.
CJ's retired 5 straight. Got him in order on just 11 pitches, 2 strikeouts in the 7th.
Pretty nice line right there. 9 strikeouts. If he strikes out 1 more, it'll be the 6th time this year he's struck out at least 10 batters in the game. Now, it's hard to pick one game that's better than another when you've had 18 starts, but this is certainly one of CJ's better games today. If you just look at the pure stuff that he has, the quality of his pitches, the command of his pitches. He's had a number of really good games. This is one of them.
And already 5 double-digit strikeout games, club record for a left-hander. It was Cliff Lee's 3 from last year. He can double that with 1 more, maybe this pitch. That is trouble. It splits Murphy and Hamilton. And that is a leadoff double for Brian Peterson, and immediately the Marlins get the tying run in scoring position here in the 8th. Let's check it again with Jim Knox.
Hi, Dave. Real quick time for the Rangers fan of the game. It has to be Weston and Tiffany. Got married in Wichita Falls last night and spending their honeymoon here at the Ranger game. You could have gone anywhere. Why here, Weston?
Because we're just big Rangers fans and we love the Rangers.
Tiffany, okay with you?
Yes, I got my massage this morning, so I'm doing the Ranger game.
There we go. Any big plans after the game, Weston?
Well, Jim, that's really none of your business.
Yeah, I got you, Weston. All right, here's a Nelson Cruz home run ball. I had congratulations. Ranger fan the game. Happy Merry.
Any big plans after the game? Here's Bonifacio, who has been big trouble and lays down a bunt. Beltre with a nice stretch at first by Moreland. They get the out, but Peterson is now 90 feet away from tying this thing up.
Yeah, there's one pitch today that I think CJ'd like to have back. It's that pitch to Peterson. He's ahead in the count, and I think that fastball probably got a little more of the plate than he wanted it to get. He's given up some other hits that haven't been hit that hard, and in fact one of them was a pretty good pitch that Sanchez hit, but that ball to Peterson was right out over the plate, probably not where CJ wanted to throw it. Now you really got to bear down right here. Man on third base, tying run on third base, and only one out.
Mark Lowe is in the bullpen, and this will get Mike Maddox out to join this conversation. He has been so completely in command, and an insurance run or two would not have been impossible because the Rangers have had a man on in all but the 3rd inning. But they have been victimized by, in the case of the 5th inning. Nice catch of a pop by Bonifacio with Andrews recording the 3rd out with Kinsler at 2nd. A young double play to end the 6th. And that will be it tonight for C.J. Wilson. What a performance. 97 pitches on the day in which he made his first All-Star team, and he leaves a 2-1 lead to the bullpen. Ovation from a sellout of 46,092, and he turns it over to Mark Lowe. In select seating areas when purchased on TexasRangers.com, and all Wednesday games feature $1 hot dogs. Don't miss it this Wednesday against Baltimore. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com/specials today. Well, an abrupt end to a masterful performance by C.J. Wilson tonight. He leaves after 7 1/3. He's allowed 1 run on 5 hits. But the tying run at third base, Brian Peterson, is his after his leadoff double, sacrificed over there by Bonifacio, in one of the biggest situations that we have seen Mark Lowe thrown in this year.
Well, he's been throwing the ball well lately. His fastball has had great velocity, and he's had pretty good location with it. and his slider's starting to come along pretty well too. So they've got the Rangers with the infield in, the tying run at third base, and Mark trying to keep that run from scoring with 1 out.
Infante 0 for 3 is grounded out all 3 times. Twice to Beltre, once to Andrews. Since 2007, a .333 hitter with runners in scoring position. And this breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-1.
First 2 pitches, both sliders.
Jack McKeon tonight has seen his Marlins with runners in scoring position only 1 for 6.
Infante's a difficult guy to strike out. He's only struck out 32 times. Has over 300 at bats.
Outside there, 2 balls and a strike. Gabby Sanchez will be next, and he's got 2 hits, including the only RBI so far tonight for Florida. Infield in, and it works to perfection right at Beltre for the 2nd out.
They went at Infante with all sliders and got him to ground out for the 4th time right at Beltre.
Nice Cruz Light freeze can. Gabby Sanchez with that broken bat sawed off swing in on his fist. Ball was nowhere near Beltre. Shot of the bat came dangerously close. Sanchez a double in the first, RBI single in the 6th. In between, he struck out, 1 of 9 on the night for C.J. Wilson. The Marlins all-star for this year. The month of June, he was terrible with runners in scoring position. 0-77, 2 for 26. Should get something hittable here, though, at 2-0, perhaps. Hanley Ramirez in the on-deck circle. And Brian Peterson at third. Three balls and no strikes. Mark Lowe over his last 7 outings, 1 earned run in 7 innings. He's gotten his ERA down from 5 to 3.96. That's the lowest it's been since June 12th.
Well, he's behind 3-0, but at least missing. He's missing off the plate instead of toward the center of the plate.
And Sanchez taking all the way. A 97-mile-an-hour Mark Lowe fastball.
Yeah, to me right there, it's 3-0. You're the all-star representative. You've been your team's best hitter. Not sure why you would be taking 3-0 right there. Want your best hitter swinging.
Checks his swing. Angel Hernandez confirms that. There's a walk. Only the second issued to a Marlin tonight. And we're down to the remaining 2 greatest moments in MLB All-Star Game history. The AL, it's Cal Ripken's swan song in 2001. In the NL, Stan Musial's Midsummer Magic in 1955. Go to MLB.com/moments and vote now for your favorite Midsummer classics. And tune into the 2011 MLB All-Star Game next Tuesday, July 12th, 7 p.m. on Fox to find out who won. Mike Maddox out now with Hanley Ramirez, who was walked and popped out twice tonight. 24 hours ago, he hit a first-inning grand slam and a leadoff shot in the 7th inning. Darren Oliver and Neftali Feliz are getting ready. Inning began with Peterson doubling on an 0-2 pitch. Sacrificed to third by Bonifacio. Lowe got Infante to ground to third with the infield in, but just walked Gabby Sanchez.
Got him.
Throw at first, but the tag is not in time to get Sanchez.
That's unbelievable. You pull that play, you've got the guy picked off, and make a bad throw. What a way that would have been to end the 8th inning with men on first and third. It's the play that everybody says that play never works.
He double clutched on it.
I had no idea where he's going. Darren O'Day had the same play last night, but didn't expect the runner to be off the bag and didn't throw it. Mark has had a way out of the inning right there with a good throw to first base. Luckily, Mitch was able to catch the hop to keep the ball from going away. You say that play never works. It worked 2 times in the last 2 nights. As far as fooling the runner at first, I had no idea where Sanchez was going. No way he was stealing second base with Ramirez up there. He just bouncing off the base with not much regard to his safety.
Chopper, tough play. Andrews cannot make the play, and it's tied at 2. Peterson comes home on a ball that traveled maybe 80 feet out behind the mound.
Well, that's a shame. Make a good pitch, a good sinker down and in. Ramirez doesn't get out of the box very well. I think if Elvis was able to make the play, he might have gotten him at first base on the slowly hit ball. But the inning's over if Mark makes a good throw to first base on the pickoff throw at first base.
E6 will spell the end of Mark Lowe's 3-batter appearance, and what a tough no decision this has turned into for C.J. Wilson. Darren Oliver coming on to deal to Logan Morrison.
Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. We just want to say, Go Rangers!
Talk about a guy who deserved better. C.J. Wilson takes a no decision. And one pitch he'd like to have back, the 0-2 pitch that Peterson doubled to lead off this inning. But the Rangers, Tom, have had chances to get out of it. They have not taken advantage. Peterson has come around to score the tying run, and now it's up to Darren Oliver to try and get Morrison.
Yeah, it's frustrating. The pitches were made to get out of the inning. The play was made to get out of the inning. The fake throw to third. And if Mark was able to throw it accurately to first base, Sanchez would have been an embarrassing out at first base. Instead, he was able to get back, and that little dribbler by Ramirez scored the tying run.
On Elvis Andrews' 16th error of the season.
That's a tough error, but it wasn't a very hard hit ball. But I think if Elvis catches that ball, he's got a chance to get him at first base. Not an easy play, and it's a tough error. But it's a play under those circumstances you'd love to see Elvis make.
Strike one to Logan Morrison, who could do nothing against C.J. Wilson. Struck him out twice to end the first and sixth. In between, he flied to center. 2 Ranger errors tonight. They are up to 71 on the year, most in the majors. One of the more critical errors of the season we have just seen. Jared Oliver, though, has been very effective of late. 5 1/3 scoreless his last 5 appearances. 1 unearned run in his last 9 outings, covering 8 innings. 2 on with 2 out. Go ahead run scoring position. That's Sanchez. This is wide with the curve, and it's 2-1. The Angels have taken a 3-1 lead on the Dodgers. They got 3 in the bottom of the 7th. Now batting bottom of the 8th. 3-1. Trying to tie up the Rangers atop the West. Ripped to right field. Cruz races over. Can't get it all the way to the wall. Sanchez scores. Ramirez is going to score. Logan Morrison has a 2-run double, and the Marlins have a 2-run lead, 4-2.
To say this is a frustrating inning would be an understatement. Rangers should have been out of the inning. Instead, a pitch that's supposed to be down and away is right in the center of the plate, and Morrison took advantage of it.
Cruz with the big effort out there. As soon as it got past him, no question Ramirez was going to come home as well. So that's it for Oliver. Does not get the only batter that Mike Maddox needed for him to get. Now it's up to Neftali Feliz to deal with Mike Stanton, still trying to get the 3rd out of the 8th. Pitcher of record for the Rangers. He came in first man he faced. He did the job. He got Omar Infante to ground out with the infield in. Then he walked Sanchez, and the Hanley Ramirez reached on the error by Andrews.
There's the key play in the inning right there. The fake to third base. Mark actually has Sanchez trapped off first base, but then the throw is in the dirt. If he makes a good throw, he's got Sanchez, and Sanchez is trotting back onto the field with a very embarrassing base running mistake. Unfortunately, the throw wasn't made.
And figured the Rangers would probably see Feliz out there at some point tonight, not to try and necessarily get the 3rd out of the 8th inning. The 4th pitcher of the 8th. And a big rip at 97 from Stanton, who struck out his last 2 times against Wilson. Fly to center his first. Pinch runner Dwayne Wise now taking over for Morrison at second base. Veteran with some speed. Stay in the game of the outfield. 0-2. Just high heat so far from Feliz. Base hit center field. Wise will come around to score and make it 5-2.
It still boils down to you got to make a good pitch. You're ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And maybe you get a little too confident because he swung and missed it 2 pitches. He's trying to throw the ball away. It's right down the center of the plate. And on an 0-2 pitch, you make a bad pitch, you give up a run.
The 5th run of the 8th inning, all with 2 outs, all unearned. And here is Wes Helms, their 8th batter. Helms is 0 for 3. Strikeout. He's fly to center, grounded to third. Mark Lowe in his 1/3 of an inning. Now on the hook for 2 runs, both unearned. The runner goes. Kinsler a little bit late arriving, but he still gets the tag down, and Stanton is gunned down. And finally, the Marlins are down in the 8th inning, but they take charge with a 4-run, 2-out rally and lead it 5-2. In front of the 8th sellout of the year, one more than the Rangers had all of last year here at the ballpark. 46,092. Outstanding crowd. Great game until the 8th inning, and C.J. Wilson setting the stage for one of the more disheartening innings certainly of this year for the Rangers, with only the 5th hit that he gave up. Leadoff double to Peterson. That led to 4 2-out unearned runs. Rangers now with 6 more outs, trying to make up this 3-run deficit. And David Murphy slowly rolls over to second base. Barehanded Infante takes care of him. David is 0 for 3.
I think the most frustrating part of that inning is you have Sanchez in first, men on first and third. You've got your 4th place hitter Ramirez up at the plate. Take a look at the replay. Nice play by Infante. And Sanchez pulls like the ultimate bonehead base running mistake, gets picked off first base and gets away with it. That's the frustrating part of the inning. The inning should have been over, and instead of being ultimately embarrassed, he ends up scoring a run.
Ian Kinsler singled his last time up. He's also walked, and both times he stole second base. And then the error on Andrews. Dan Shimmick, our official scorer, one of the more veteran official scorers. Would have been a tough play, but at least you'd like to see Elvis at least get it out of his glove and attempt to throw. Base hit to center field. Kinsler has a 2-hit night. Maybe the start of the Ranger 8th inning rally.
Yeah, I think Dan will consider that play. It's a tough play. I would lean toward a base hit just because it's no guarantee if you field it cleanly and make the throw, you're going to get Ramirez at first base. He still runs well. It would have been a really close play, and it's not a simple play on a dead run to field that ball right back of the pitcher. I mean, I wish he made the play, but I think I'd lean toward a base hit on that play.
Well, Mike Dunn, the pitcher of record for the Marlins, getting the last 2 outs of the 7th inning and the first of the 8th. So 1 inning, lousy hit. Kinsler aboard with 1 man out. Andrews will be up next when we return for the Ranger 8th. For right-hander Bert Badenhop, who will come on to deal with Elvis Andrews. First, let's check in with John Radigan.
All right, Dave. Yeah, down here on the Rangers live set and rooting for a comeback from the Rangers. Nice to see Ian get on. Hopefully, we'll have the happy details of a nice comeback. If not, we'll have all the post-game reaction you could possibly want, analysis from Steve Busby, and lots of reaction from in the clubhouse with Emily Jones. Rangers live immediately following the game, guys.
All right, John. Well, Badenhop in for the second time in this series. Elvis 0 for 3. And evens the count at 1-1. Elvis and then Hamilton. So pretty important here if Elvis can get on and give Hamilton a shot at perhaps tying the game. Numbers for Badenhop. 28-year-old Atlanta native. 2 balls and a strike. Badenhop has only retired 14 of 24 first batters faced. Now behind Elvis, 3 balls and a strike.
Well, this is not what Jack McKeon had in mind to walk right here. Got to throw you a strike right here. In fact, I think you have to take a pitch right here. Got to have a base runner. Want to bring the tying run to the plate.
There goes Kinsler, and it is ball 4, and the Rangers with 1 out bring the tying run to the plate in the person of Josh Hamilton. So Badenhop faces 1 batter, and Jack McKeon can't get out there to take the ball from him fast enough. Mike Dunn got the first out of the ground out by Murphy on the very first pitch of the inning. Trouble since, and lefty Randy Choate coming in. He's also lined to third and singled. Mujica pitched in the 8th last night, gave up a 2-out triple to Yorvit Torrealba. Beltre trying to go off on that fastball. Just missed it.
Mujica has good movement on his fastball. It's not an overpowering fastball, but it tailed down and in, and Adrian swung over that sinker.
So everyone's attention focused right here. And a broken bat shot. Bare hand by Infante, and his throw dropped by Sanchez. Here comes Kinsler to score, and it's 5-3. Andrus is at third. Beltre at first for Michael Young.
Oh, tough couple innings for Dan Shimmick, the official scorekeeper. There's another tough one right there. Is that a hit? Is that an error? Beltre doesn't hit this ball very hard. It tails in, jams him, smashes his bat, but it's headed up the middle. It's a bare hand kind of do-or-die play by Infante. He throws it in the dirt. So I'll leave that up to the viewer. Is that an error or is that a hit?
Well, Dan Shimmick says it's a hit.
All right.
And here is Michael Young now. Goes right after the first pitch with the tying runs aboard, and Michael representing the go-ahead run with 2 outs here in the 8th. A double in 3 trips. Just missing wide, 1-1. Right at the third baseman Helms. So the Rangers settle for 1 run on 2 base hits. They leave 2 on. We go to the night 5-3 Florida. Baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. New Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas.
You talk about guarding the line when you've got the tying run at first and the go-ahead run at home. Look at the third baseman. Wes Helms is right on the line, and there's a ball hit right down the line. If he's playing in his normal position where he would have been earlier in the game, maybe that ball goes down into the corner and the run scores from first, Beltre, and you've got a tie ball game. That's why managers guard the line with the tying and winning runs on base.
Wes Helms was at the plate when Mike Stanton ended the 8th by being caught stealing. On the play on which Kinsler scored, it was an infield single for Beltre, no RBI. E4 charged to Infante. And so the Rangers, with that unearned run, were able to get within 5-3, but left the tying runs aboard. Feliz threw just 3 pitches in the 8th inning and gave up an RBI single to Stanton to complete their 4-run 2-out rally.
Stanton has been striking out a lot, and he's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes on 2 high fastballs. And, you know, you got a great chance to strike him out. You just have to make a good pitch. You've got to throw the pitch away, throw it up out of the strike zone, and you probably get him to swing and miss at it. But Neffy just made a mistake. He threw the ball right down the center of the plate. And you give the hitter a chance, even if he is swinging and missing a lot. You can't just assume he's going to swing and miss it. A pitch right down the middle.
Yeah. Well, he walks Helms. And the leadoff man on in the 9th inning. But that one of at least 3 mistakes in that 8th inning. Low double clutching on what would have been the ending pickoff. Sanchez at first. Next batter up, Ramirez, reaching on the air by Andrews. Morrison then with a 2-run double off of Oliver. Stanton, the RBI single off of Feliz. Brett Hayes has a hat trick. He has struck out all 3 times. But the bunt here, fielded by Moreland, and Kinsler is over to first to take the throw, but a successful sacrifice has Helms in scoring position. They're not a blink of an eye too soon. 3-4 on the sacrifice. And here is Peterson, who started that 8th inning with a double on an 0-2 pitch off of C.J. Wilson. The last of only 5 Marlin hits off of C.J. today. C.J. stuck with a very frustrating no decision. Peterson showing bunt. After his double, Bonifacio followed with a sacrifice. Rangers play the infield in with Mark Lowe coming on. He got Infante to ground at third for the 2nd out. And then the next 4 Marlins all reached, and the next 3 scored. Sanchez, Ramirez, and the pinch runner Dwayne Wise. A little looper, and Kinsler gets there for the basket catch. So Helms still at second with 2 outs now. Back to the top of the order, and Bonifacio. As Yoshi Tateyama gets loose. With an eye toward this game potentially getting into extra innings. Bonifacio built for small ball. That's exactly what he's played in this game. A bunt single in the 3rd, stole 2nd, was left there. Infield single leading off the 6th, and he scored their first run. Singled home by Sanchez. Last time up, the sacrifice. And ball 1 from Feliz here. Scoreboards are still off all the way around the ballpark, so Chuck Morgan becomes even more important. Bonifacio way late. Well, Chuck Morgan would be more important, but his booth is out of power too, so not even the benefit of PA announcements here, so the crowd really having to pay attention. Pitch by pitch, old school style here at the ballpark.
How many people are in the stands going, what's the score? What's the score?
1-2. Oh, you know at home it's 5-3. 46,092 here. 8th Rangers sellout of the year, more than they had all of last year. Well, they know it's 2 strikes and 2 outs for Bonifacio here. Up the middle, base hit. Here comes Helms. Hamilton's throw is over everything. It sails to the backstop and all the way to third base is where Bonifacio ends up, clapping his hands in glee. He's just made it 6-3.
Felice throws him a good fastball the pitch before that. A tailing fastball. He's late. He blew it right by him. And then this pitch is kind of a hanging breaking ball out over the plate. Bonifacio gets the bat on it, and the ball just slips out of Josh's hand. It's not going to make much difference. That run was going to score anyway.
Omar Infante 0 for 4, all ground outs. So a single for Bonifacio with an RBI. And an error on the throw by Hamilton, allowing him to take second and third. 2-base throwing error. And the Rangers' 3rd error of the game. Checking his second on the throw, and the error allowing him to get from second to third. Feliz again, a strike away from ending it. Well, that is a huge insurance run they just picked up. And the Ranger 9th, Cruz, Moreland, and Torrealba. And we would expect to see their closer, Leo Nunez. They worked a 1-2-3 9th last night, polish off their 9-5 victory. Now 2-2. Rangers were sailing along in this game as much as you can with a 1-run lead, but C.J. Wilson was in complete command into the 8th inning. And the Marlins turned a leadoff double into big doings. Shallow left for David Murphy. A run on a hit, an error, and it's up to Cruz, Moreland, and Torrealba in the Ranger 9th. team that won only 5 games in 28 appearances on the schedule of all the month of June. Jackie Moore in charge since the double ejection of Ron Washington and Gary Pettis, and Leo Nunez comes on in search of his 23rd save of the year. And he's got Cruz, Moreland, and Torrealba, the scheduled Ranger hitters here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Power started to come back on. Almost symbolic that we had a little mini blackout of all the scoreboards and the PA booth. So the fans had to be really paying attention. Now Chuck Morgan is back up. Most of the scoreboards are back up. And here's Cruz, who goes right after the first pitch. He homered his first time up, then struck out and singled. 2 for 3. He is 6th in the majors in saves. .22 prior to the All-Star break. Right now, 5th most in club history. And a line drive that is in there and past Stanton to the wall. Cruz starts the Ranger 9th with a double.
That's about as hard as you can hit a line drive the opposite way. That ball went by Stanton like he was standing still. That was a line shot.
Stanton, great athlete out there. Recruited as a wide receiver DB by USC. No lack of quickness, but
yeah, that wasn't him. That was just the ball. It just was too fast to get to.
Well, here is Moreland in an 0 for 3 night and 0 for his last 13 since his home run Wednesday down in Houston. Twice flied out, in between struck out. Nice stop by Hayes behind the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. And takes that one right down the middle. Jack McKeon bringing some belated life to this Florida franchise. This will reach the seats. Well, the Angels have won. They've beaten the Dodgers 3-1. 3 runs in the 7th inning to make a winner of Irvin Santana, now 4-8. Chad Billingsley, the loser, falls to 7-7. Jordan Walden gets his 19th save. Angels win with only 3 base hits and committing 2 errors. So without a Ranger comeback, they will be tied for first. Still 2-2 to Moreland. Angels now 44-41. That is exactly the record the Rangers are staring at here. They've had sole possession of first for 36 straight days, 45 out of the last 46. Left side, and that means Cruz cannot advance on the ground out. First out. And that brings up Torrealba. Emilio Bonifacio has played all over the place this series. Shortstop tonight. And he has handled everything, too. Yorvik 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and a liner to second. Had one of the hottest bats in the league in June, 1 for his last 12 this trip. And strike one. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 5 left for Florida. 3 runs on 9 hits, 3 errors, 5 left for the Rangers. They led 2-1 until the 4-run Marlin 8th. Lifted high to right center field. Dwayne Wise, the veteran, is out there, and he's got the second out of the 9th inning. So last hope for the Rangers, David Murphy. David tonight 0 for 3. He's flied to left, and his last 2 trips up, he's grounded to second. David in a 2 for 22 and a 4 for 33 as he steps up here. Just trying to get on some way, get it back to the top of the order. See what Kinsler, Andrus, maybe even Hamilton could do if he can keep this 9th inning alive. Jackie Moore in charge. Scott Coolbaugh coaching first after the double ejections of Wash and Gary Pettis. 2-0 to Murphy.
Yeah, what you hope for is just get another base runner. Bring Ian to the plate with a chance.
Two balls and a strike. Javier Vasquez seems like ages ago. The starter with 6+ innings, 2 runs on 6 hits. Nunez, the 5th Marlin reliever since then. They've allowed 1 run on 3 hits to this point out of their bullpen. That could be trouble. Left field corner and over Peterson. Off the wall. Cruz comes home. Murphy digging for 3, and he is in there. He's made it 6-4.
Yeah, that's a case where it doesn't do you any good to get to third base. You can only go to third base if you know you're going to make it. Because for the Rangers to have a chance in this game, the next hitter has to score. And if the next hitter scores, then you're going to score whether you're at second or third. So the fact that he ends up at third is a meaningless situation in this game. And it was a little bit too close for comfort, with the possibility of the last out coming on this throw from the outfielder.
Well, Peterson recovering after bouncing off the wall as quickly as he could and got rid of it fast. But
yeah, to me, if you have to slide, you probably should have stayed at second.
Well, he's at third with 2 outs, a run in. It's now 6-4, and Ian Kinsler representing the tying run at the plate. He has walked, singled twice, stolen a couple of bags, and retired only on a fly to left back in the 3rd. And he likes that first pitch from Nunez. Remember, Kinsler having a huge power week last week, 4 home runs. 4 in his last 5 games. In fact, he had hit 3 in his previous 55 games. This is a point where you really couldn't ask for a better opportunity for Ian in his current locked-in state. But Nunez now a strike away. Pop up. Shallow right. Infante giving way to Stanton, and the Marlins win it and take the series 2-1. One of the toughest losses of the year for the Rangers. And one of the biggest wins since Jack McKeon took over for his second round as manager of the Marlins. Rangers seem to have it in hand with C.J. Wilson sailing into the 8th inning. 4 2-out unearned runs in the 8th. And another one in the 9th. And Florida hangs on to win it 6-4. And the Rangers are tied with the Angels for first place in the American League West. We'll hear from John Radigan when we come back.